So you clicked on this video because you're in two minds whether your latest creation can be classified as a good piece of music or absolute garbage that should never see the light of day. But regardless of how much music you've previously made, the question of whether something you've created is of any worth can arise as you listen to the 100th mix of a song for the 50th time. However, even if this question enters your head, hopefully this video can help you decide whether what you've created is actually good and reassure you that it probably is much better than you think it is. In my opinion, the most important question you need to ask yourself is, do you like it? Not will others like it, not will it be played on the radio or added to a playlist, but do you actually like what you've created? It seems so obvious, but I feel like at points myself, I focus more on trying to make stuff for others to then realise why I feel like my music is flat or lifeless. I mean, why spend hours creating beats, layering vocals and writing lyrics if the prime focus is to pander to the taste of others, especially when often people do not know what they want to listen to? I mean, how many times has an artist given to the pandering to what fans want, and fans turn them anyway and be disappointed? In my opinion, I think this is because people conflate their own life experiences with music rather than the music itself. That's been the point. So really consider, do you like what you've done? If you do, great, continue as you are. If not, are there any individual components you like that you could take forward with you? For example, a chorus or a chord progression. And why do you like it? The answer to such doesn't have to be technical. It can be as simple as, oh, when I layered that synth sound with the bass, it was cool, or pitching the sample down and screaming with the tempo was nice. Then try and take those bits forward and phase out the components you were less of a fan of. And finally, if you like it, there's bound to be others that do so too. So try and build an audience around the sounds and ideas that you find cool, rather than trying to make a one-for-one replica of a style and sound of an artist that already has an audience. This is because, while you might get close to their sound, it may lead to disappointment as you're not that person, and so cannot make music in the exact same way as that artist. So you're still finding it hard to decide whether you like what you've made or not. I mean, it sounded cool at the start, but the more you listen to it, the worse it sounds. Let's abandon it, save it for a rainy day. I definitely won't forget about it in my really good file system. In my opinion, the context anyone listens to music in is important and can influence how you feel about the music. Are you going to feel the same way about White Ferrari if you've listened to it on a sunny beach in the afternoon compared to after a breakup? No. Do you want to hear Dance Monkey in any location ever? No. Do you think you're being fair to yourself if you try to decide if you like your music after working on it all day? No. Take a breather, set it aside, go for a walk, leave it for a day or two or even a week. Now listen to it. What do you think of it now that your ears aren't fatigued to the stuff you just created? Also, listening to it in a different context can really help. Instead of sitting at your computer, listen to it in a number of different places and ways. For example, on a walk, travelling back from school or work, or with friends. By changing the context you're listening to it in, you may start to appreciate the song you've created, and it may help you approach it with a fresh outlook. And if it doesn't, it may highlight the elements you don't like. I mean, do you really have to add a distorted 808 between versions 14 and 15? The answer is yes. It's always yes. Okay, this point needs to be traversed very carefully. Whilst getting feedback, in my opinion, can help you improve, not all feedback from all people is helpful or even constructive. However, this makes sense, as not every person has the same taste in music, and so not everyone will enjoy the sub-bass breaking the sound barrier on the second or fourth beat of every bar. But regardless of the style or genre, getting some feedback from people you believe will give you an informed opinion can be really helpful. This can include people that you believe may enjoy it, but also from people that you think may not. This is because they may give you an insight that others that already love the sound or style cannot. But make sure you do not straight up ask, do you think this is good? That is not helpful for you or for the poor person you've enlisted with the task of judging it. Instead, ask them for their opinion about a specific element. For example, do you think the bass overpowered the rest of the song? Were the vocals clear? What feeling did the chords give you? When the question is more specific, I believe it results in more helpful feedback. That you can take what you want from the feedback you receive, as at the end of the day, your taste should be the main driver of the music you create. And finally, but most importantly, take all feedback with a grain of salt. Some may like it, some may not, that's life. Music is inherently subjective, and so what someone may love, you may hate, and vice versa. So don't take it too personally, although I know it's much easier said than done. So So hopefully this video highlighted some ways to decide whether your music is good. However, that doesn't mean if you open up an old project from 2017 and hear 8 dB of reverb on every vocal track, you will like it now, but that is called progress. That is called growing as a musician, as your tastes change and evolve, which they inevitably will. Thank you for listening.